Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining the session. Today we will be discussing about scaling omnichannel strategies. I am a part of DAiOM and I take care of the content marketing and social media part. And today's session will be conducted by Saurabh. He has been working in the industry for the last 20 years with big names in the industry like the Tata Group, Lenskart and Amex. And today he will be sharing all his experience with you all. At DAiOM, we help clients boost their omni-channel strategies and improve growth. And we have been helping brands like Jiva, the sleep company, and others. And we have been focusing on data, AI, and analytics in doing so. And I would like to invite Saurabh to share all his learnings with you all. Thank you.
Yeah. So the basic premise of omnichannel has been that omnichannel where the customer is across the channels, and it is estimated, at least in India right now, the market of omnichannel is about 11 billion, and it'll cross about 55 billion in the coming 3 years. So it's a big opportunity while it'll grow 5x. And it's not only that there will be new companies who will come out or emerge as omni-channel companies. There will be online companies who will venture into offline, or offline companies who will venture into online. Uh, so in today's session, what we will do is it's a 75-minute session. We will have 5-10 minutes discussion. We will cover about what are the building blocks of omni-channel, which are sales, marketing, service, and analytics. Then we'll talk about what is the importance of tech and data and analytics, and then talk about what have been my mistakes I've seen by looking at omni-channel. So it'll be pretty example driven session, and hope you all will enjoy doing reading through it. So Vishnu already introduced me on this. Have experience with Lenskart, Amex, Tata Group, but mostly my biggest exposure has happened in the last 18 to 24 months with all the companies where all of this has started coming in. So as I talked about, it's no more a debate between online versus offline. Today, customers spend almost 6 hours online, 2.5 hours on social media. So your learning can happen either on website, store, social media. We end up shopping on in-store, mobile, website, or we call to somebody and order. And also we kind of get servicing across everywhere. So the customer is all over the place, and the buying can start from anywhere and can end anywhere today. And that is what brands have to embrace. So tell me in the chat, has it ever happened that you saw a product online and then you were not tempted to buy online, but you visited a store and bought? And if that resonates with you, just type in the brand in the chat, which you think it happened with. Decathlon, yeah. So it has happened with me a lot, especially with Decathlon, where one goes online and then goes and buys. Yeah, Westside is another place. Westside, in fact, does not have an online front with westside.com, but they sell a lot of their merchandise through Tata Click. So, uh, so there are multiple omni-channel brands. Definitely, these are two brands which you guys talked about, which is Decathlon and Westside are some omni-channel brands. Are there other omni-channels brand which come to your mind when you hear the word omni-channel and which resonates you? If you could comment in the chat, and maybe if something you can talk about, what do you love about it as well? Puma, Asus. Okay. Sumit, can you just share about what is the omni-channel aspect about Aces you like? You can unmute yourself and share if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, so it's actually the reverse experience that I had, wherein I went to one of the malls which was in Thane, and they took all the vitals in terms of my feet, my posture of walking, the pressure points. They have a device on which you have to walk, and based on that, they generate a graph, and then they find the right product, right? So what happened is, based on that, they recommended the right shoe with the right design of the sole and the comfort level that will fit my feet. And once they had that data, I think that was their gold mine. They knew exactly after how many months or years they have to reach out to me with the right display of products on their website. And
Great.
again, they showed me the assortment of the SKUs, the shoes SKUs, but then it triggered me to go back to another mall in Bangalore. I purchased in Bombay. I was in Bangalore. I just stepped in and bought the new pair of Asics shoes at the end of life of my previous purchase. So they are reminding me based on my vitals and parameters, they are reminding me which shoes will be the best with the upcoming trends and new trends. And then they are triggering me to go back and, purchase it offline. At least that happened with me. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great example, definitely it's not only about getting brands from online to offline, but how do offline brands also engage you with their information. And here, the interesting element which you talked about is the use of data, which they used it and they leveraged it for personalization further. It's a great example, Swamik. Thanks for sharing with us. Would love to hear, Vishu, if you could talk about any experience which you had with Puma.
Yeah, when I went to the mall, so I saw the whichever fits to me, but the rates are very high. But parallelly, when I checked on the Puma.com online, so it is almost 30-40% lesser than what the small people are selling. So finally, the same product I got for less than 40% through the online.
Great. Yeah, and that's a common thing which happens a lot with us. And thanks for sharing. Pricing is a big challenge, but at the end, if you are able to stick with the brand, it's a win-win for the brand. They were able to keep you in the ecosystem rather than losing to a competition brand, right? So that's
Yes.
the whole thing about omni-channel, that the customer starts offline, goes online and buys, and it happens in a different manner. Okay, so today omni-channel is not only like you guys talked about in sports, it is also there in healthcare sector. Practo, we go check Apollo Pharmacy and then they deliver at home. EdTech happened a lot during the COVID times with Byju's, Physics Wala leading the pack. It happened in retail with Lenskart, Jiva, Nykaa going in different directions. And then also digital banks which started and insurance with ACO. So there are humongous example in every sector. We will touch upon some of them as we go through in our discussion today. Okay, so I'll take one example, one brand which few of you mentioned, Decathlon. So Decathlon, as we many of us know, that it's a French brand which has about 127 stores in India, and it started purely offline. Okay, and they launched their app as well, and they were struggling to get the customers online. So there are three key initiatives which they took, which really helped their online business scale up. The first one was self checkout. We all have seen huge lines in Decathlon. So the self checkout mechanism where you can put the stuff in the bins and then check out, or you can use your app to self checkout. That was another thing which they did to drive the app usage. And once you have downloaded the app, you can order it from some other place. The second example out there they did is was use of endless aisle. So let me take a step back to explain what does endless aisle mean. Endless aisle means that the aisle is infinite and or endless, and the way it happens is if you don't have the colors, fit, size, you place a QR code, people check out the product, touch and feel, and then they order online and it gets delivered later. So that helps the store maintain a lower inventory and then scale it up later. And then Decathlon also scaled up into Zepto with 10-minute delivery. It launched Zepto and also now Blinkit as well. So that's how they are moving, just not only from 127 stores, but being available online and in different formats. The other example, which is very close to my heart, is Physics Wala. So they started like a YouTube channel pre-COVID, and they scaled up very well. Then they launched their app, and they were known for online. And then they opened up PW Vidya Peeth centers. and they are very affordable. They start at almost like $100, like 5,000 rupees for the entire course, while none of the courses start less than 30-40,000 rupees per month, per year. So they really brought the price point down. And the biggest impact they were sharing with me in one of my discussions is they had at some point, the whole JE or NEET had started seeing decline almost 20-30%. But because of the affordability of learning, the increase started happening, and many people from different economically weaker section also got into it. So the whole journey from single channel, multi-channel to omni-channel is not only just being multi-channel. We will talk about how does omni-channel be differentiated with multi-channel today. Okay. So when I think about omni-channel, there are three key elements which stand out. Okay. The first one being the sales, where the brand is selling into. Are they selling on their website, their app, Amazon marketplace, or they have their own stores, or they are selling in large format retails like Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, and others. The second is multi-channel marketing, omni-channel marketing, which is using WhatsApp, Facebook, TV, all of those different types of omni-channel marketing channels. And then the third key is omni-channel service. And this is where the real differentiator happens. Like a lot of times earlier, people said that only the channel you bought will service, but the whole omni-channel service is a little broader concept to it. And to power a true omni-channel experience, there is a huge use of data, analytics, tech, and AI. Like we saw the example uh, of ACES, where we heard that they took some data from them and then they use for personalization later. That's an example. You can use it in a longitudinal manner. So let's deep dive into omni-channel sales. So omni-channel sales, definitely the 90% sales today happens in offline, and it is getting augmented with online. Uh, there have been traditional businesses like Shoppers Stop, Lifestyle, and then the new age businesses like Decathlon who have come and opened good number of stores. And still, if we go to any mall, 80% are retail stores which are selling. Then there is online channels like website, app, and then the marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, which are selling. Okay. And what is known as, uh, a lot of inspiration to shop comes from Amazon or marketplaces where we keep logging in multiple times in a day or in a week. Go from search engines or get inspired from social media or YouTube stuff, but also get inspired from retail stores. There are multiple places where we can say that online is better or offline is better. One thing which we see is from a product variety and assortment purpose, online is much better. If you want to know reviews and evaluation, online is better because you can see review ratings from other people who have purchased. And then the next is to get consultation, to be assisted in selling, especially I'm not sure if you have noticed ads from Vijay Sales. They talk about that they have a person who will tell you and guide you which fridge or washing machine to buy. So getting a consultation from a store staff is only good in physical. And the ability to try, fit, and see. For example, shoes, it's very difficult to know what size is good. But if you go to a store, you can check the size and then say, okay, I can buy 9.5 for this brand, and I can order it from the website. So that's how online versus offline is a big debate, but people start from anywhere and can end anywhere to buy. So in this whole thing of online, offline, there are multiple enablers. So what brands today face challenges, how can we move from online to offline or offline to online? So one example I would give is from moving from offline to online. The example is to use QR codes where you can put in that, okay, download our app, check out our website through QR codes. One method from online to online moving is, for example, somebody is watching a reel and then you place a click to button and then people move from online to online. Or to move from online to offline is you go and show that, okay, you want to try, you're not able to buy it, you can go and try to a nearest store. And offline to offline is very simple to say, okay, you get a physical leaflet and all. So a lot of the enabler or the movement happens through these online to offline nuggets which are going in different directions. We spoke about on Decathlon as a case study. Another case study I'll talk about is Lenskart. Okay, and I had the opportunity to work almost 3 years with Lenskart. So when Lenskart started, it was a purely an online company which was trying to sell specs and eyewear. But while it was getting a lot of traffic, the online conversion was very low. And the reason is people are happy to check out, but there is no standardization in the size, number one. Second, how does it look on your face is a challenge. And the third is the people don't have the latest power. So you have to go and get your power updated. That's why when Lenskart opened their first few pilot stores, they realized the conversion is much higher in the stores, and it also is enabling online. So once you have bought from Lenskart store, you have your power, size, all of those metrics available, and then you can go and repeat in other areas. So that was the journey. Now Lenskart has been opening almost 30, 40 store every month, and now touching almost 2000 stores. This whole online offline journey is a big thing which I learned in Lenskart. And I'll share some of the examples we did as we go through the session. Now, the emerging channels, like we spoke about online channel and then the offline channel, the big area which is coming up, which is not yet so much matured, is conversational commerce, where on chat or in WhatsApp or in some places, you end up buying stuff when people send you. This is an example which GeoMart piloted, where they created the entire catalog on WhatsApp, and you could buy groceries on it, but it had a little bit of friction because when somebody buys on on a website, you want to see the pictures, you want to see the review rating, you want to know about the content, which is not easy to do. But this is a channel which is being very much used in China, especially with WeChat, and in Japan also. The other area is social commerce with Instagram and Facebook. So this is also getting picking up these days, especially with micro entrepreneurs who don't have a website and they are selling a lesser number of SKUs. Or say people post one product which is very good and then they sell. One example of social commerce I would say is home bakers. Home bakers, or you can say conversational commerce is that they put in that, okay, we have these five cakes, you order it on WhatsApp, they order it and do it. Yes, some of this is very not driven by tech but by conversation, but the tech around is getting built. So this is another emerging channel for WhatsApp. Okay. Uh, any Before we move to the next one, what is one product you checked online but you ended up buying offline? If anyone can put in the chat, that will be great. So shoes is one example which I do a lot, which we have discussed. Any other category which you can share? Pritam, if you don't mind, can you switch off your camera? Okay. Jewelry, IKEA. Yeah.
Sir, did you ask me to switch on the camera? I'm
Switch
sorry.
off the camera. Your camera was on. Okay. Yeah, perfume. Okay. Uh, Amartya, can you talk about your car experience with us? What was the journey and how did it go through?
So, sort of as to buy a car, you need to understand a lot of things like the features of the car, the photos of the car. So then only you can make a purchasing decision.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, you need to understand what are the offers. So every dealership, gives different offers, and given that there are multiple brands and multiple dealerships under a brand, you can't go to every dealership to understand those offers. So you will give your phone number, and subsequently the platforms, the marketplace platforms, they will reach out to you with all the offers that they have on different dealers in your area. So based on that, and plus additional information about the EMI, the car EMI that is there. So many platforms give you that information, that how much EMI you will be paying depending upon the years and the rate of interest. So as a tool and everything, so you sort of make that purchasing journey. So if I
Got it.
can, generalize this, the higher the AOV, the higher the average order value of the category, it will have an online journey and then go into the offline journey. So other
Yeah.
examples could be, real estate. Uh, it could be, I mean, jewelry is one example that somebody has written. That's completely fine. Cars is there.
Yeah.
So these things come into your mind when it comes to,
Yeah.
online to
So
offline.
real estate, cars or expensive jewelry, holidays. So the
Exactly,
more you
travel.
have to do, travel is also,
Education. I think education is another big example.
yeah,
Like admission to a in a
yeah,
university, or
yeah,
even as trying to select between a course for yourself.
yeah. So definitely, omni-channel is going into everywhere. The discovery of this can happen online or offline, and the purchase can end up happening in the same channel or other channel, is what the difference is happening. Uh, so we'll talk about how does this. So we talked about sales in the previous thing, that where do people buy from. Now we'll talk about where do people get influenced from. And today we all know 73% customers, use more than one channel through their customer journey. And today there are almost five different types of marketing channel: social media, Google ads or digital ads, retention marketing, which is email, SMS, WhatsApp, TV, newspapers, loyalty programs. So we are bombarded with lot of content through different channels, and that helps us influence. Okay. Now we spoke about online and offline as a channel. So there are, and we spoke about how do people get influence. So one of the biggest challenge. What people are great at doing traditionally in digital marketing is by influencing for online to online purchases. For example, I might see an ad of Puma shoes to buy on Puma.com, or I might be influenced to check out the physics wala course on physics on their YouTube channel and go and buy. But the challenge is, in the omni-channel world, if I have opened up a Lenskart store, how do I influence the customer to go and buy from the store? That is a tricky objective where you have to, the influencer channel is a different medium, is an online channel, and the visiting channel is the offline channel. So one example which used to we promote or do is, in the reels or in the influencer marketing content, talk about the store experience. Okay, so how does the store look like? How do you do? How fun environment it is? Or when you're sending a WhatsApp message or a brand message, talk about that. Okay, there is a store near you. Go and check out. The another example out here is, if somebody is trying to check out a shoes online, but he does not buy in the next 2 days, then you tell him that, okay, there is a store near you in 1.2 kilometers, go and check out and buy. So that's how you can drive the person who's exploring online and wants to buy offline. One key area also in this is the Google Maps location. I'm sure it has happened with many of you that before going to a restaurant, you go and check that, okay, I want to see pizza near me, I want to see tandoori near me. So all of these search terms also decide, and we look at reviews and ratings heavily to decide where will we eat. Now we might look at Google ratings, we might look at Zomato ratings, we might look at some other platform ratings, but we go and check out reviews and ratings for the physical stores as well, which is called basically local SEO. So local SEO, SEO in search engine optimization, which means that you optimize the brand's position for the right level when it comes through. Local SEO is how do you make sure the physical identity of the brand is also ranking in the nearby in a good manner. In fact, it's a funny thing, there was a pizza place in Chandigarh. They named their store, the restaurant called Pizza Near Me, and it got popular because somewhere it got hacked and people loved the name as well. But people were not so happy with the quality of food there, but it got a lot of attention because of the word. A similar example was in US, somewhere in California, that somebody named the dentist place called Dentist Near Me. So near me searches are growing almost like 60%, 37% year on year, and it's a key hack to get higher ranking on social media. One of the big important parts in the world of omni-channel marketing is using WhatsApp very clearly. WhatsApp can be used for communicating to the customers, or it could be used when customers visit the website and then you ask them or request them your phone number so that we can send them information out them too. And also maybe put placing QR codes onto the products or in the displays where people can connect. The beauty of WhatsApp, it's a conversational channel. People don't want to be disturbed or talk. Some brands go overboard uh, to spam, but that's also getting addressed with Meta cutting down a lot of campaigns sent to them. So here is an example which we worked with a brand where they are wanting to try something and they get to see an offer and on the left, and then if they like it they also get the location of the store where they say please share the nearest store location and they can go and visit the store. So this is an example with sleep company which we did. On the left you can see the menu, the way it plays that he is looking for the store, and in the store with the use of a WhatsApp bot, it is been running. So now let's come to the third most important aspect of omni-channel is, which is omni-channel servicing. Okay. And I'll start with a personal example. So my son bought this. I gifted this. He was after my life to buy a smartwatch. So I gifted this Amazfit watch to him. And somehow it stopped working after few months, and then he started looking at how can we find the nearest repair center, and unfortunately the repair center was almost 2 hours 31 minutes, and for some reason we visited Noida for some person wedding, and he said I have to go there, this place, and we went there and they said we cannot service you because you have bought it from Amazon, you have to contact Amazon for it. Now, this was a very dreadful experience that we trusted Amazfit as a brand, uh, and they didn't service this thing. But and this has happened with, I'm sure, many people that somebody has bought a television on Marketplace, and then they said that okay, if you have bought it from Marketplace, you will not get serviced if you have bought it from this. So today, customers don't buy the channel, okay, they buy the brand, and breaking the customer experience across the channel really makes this problem that you don't treat the customer as a customer, but you give channel more importance than the customer. So there are four key aspects of any servicing. First is repairs. If your product does not work, are you able to repair it well? If you're not able to you don't like the product, it is wrong, so you want to return or refund, or you want to get it serviced. Okay, so the thing is, a person can come start from any channel and can reach into any channel, is where the omni-channel servicing works. And at the end, poor servicing experience results into poor reviews and rating and helps damage the brand more than it does good. Okay, so I'll take an example of Decathlon. We all love Decathlon. So you buy a bike from anywhere, you can go to Decathlon and get it serviced. In fact, I think so. In Lenskart also we started something that if you have any specs, you can go and get it serviced there, which means that you can get the screw tight or the nose pad cleaned or changed, and they will not charge you anything. Or if there is a size fit issue. So, and Jiva also did this free lifetime plating. You give them, they will get it plated and give it to you back for the products you buy. These are very small things. They don't cost the brand much, but it ends up getting that extra value from the customer and they love it. Like in Lenskart, there was a feature of that you can get your specs cleaned through, so they put it in some box and then it kind of vibrates and cleans and comes out, and it's like shining. You can go and try anytime, but it's a very good way to catch customer attention, and people love brands who service well. Uh, uh, so product reviews and service issues can be very dreadful. So there was this uh, AI feature, AI thing which was launched called Human AI, and MKBHD reviewed it, and that he said this is the worst product ever I have reviewed now, and that product really tanked, and the company almost got ran into bankruptcy or so, I guess. So today, with all the social media happening, people cannot take chances. Our own example of Ola Electric is very evident to us what can happen with poor service to the brand, and especially if you're great online, so it can really spread like a wildfire. So do you guys agree with me that service is a great uh, thing to be looked at? And any brands do you admire for their great service? If you could share one in the chat. And trust me, omni-channel service is something which many brands ignore. Uh, um, and I would say companies like Urban Clap or Urban Company have done a great job in making sure service is the product which they have created out of it. Okay. So, so let's move ahead to omni-channel analytics and tech. So today what's happening is, the customer journey is very convoluted. Okay, the customer starts or researches online, he goes and buys offline, and then he checks out offline, and then he might go and buy online, and then he picks up in the store and he gets service or returns from any channel. The customer journey is very, very confusing out there. But while this is true for the customer, the when the customer talks to the brand, he expects that the brand understands it. So, uh, so what is key is, there is a lot of way you can capture information. We saw that we discussed about the complex journey of buying a car. Okay, you consider going online, you check the ads, you check out the catalog, you give the phone numbers, you explore the price, you look at the delivery time, then you explore loans, and then you end up buying. Now you leave some traces of data in different points. And if the brand is able to mine this data well and build the customer map, it gives a big extra boost to the brand to understand it and design better products. So yeah, ACs is a good example which I see in the chat. Sorry, I missed. So in the world of omni-channel analytics, there are 6, 7 different areas to look at. Okay, there is a footfall analytics which actually talks about how a store gets footfall, what are the demographics of footfall which come in, and how can we understand to drive higher conversions. Then there is omni-channel marketing and growth analytics, which basically talks about what is the traffic on Facebook? How do the traffic leads to the traffic in your website, and then how do we convert that traffic into sales? Then is e-commerce analytics, which is your marketplace or your site where the people are coming. How do you convert it, and how that conversion results into sales? Then customer analytics is all about how many customers do I have? What frequency are they repeating? Are they repeating enough? Who are dormant? Who are high repeat? Then is inventory assortment analytics, which is like when see in an omni-channel environment, we have inventories at the store and online offline. So is the inventory turns coming in at the right pace, and are we not having cash stuck up? And then finally, finance and HR analytics to look at your sales funnel and HR. One key area to look at in omni-channel world is customer analytics. Now, why is customer analytics important is to understand whether the customer started online and completed offline, and what type of customer is he. Is he an online customer, or is he an offline customer, or is he a pure omni-channel customer? And today, one key thing which I also talk about is the difference between a customer and a consumer. So to me, a person technically who's paying and whose data is getting captured in the system of record is called customer. So for example, in my house, my card is used to buy everything on Amazon. So I am the customer, but I will be buying for my son, for my wife, for my mother, for myself. And those are the people who are consuming the product. So understanding the difference between the customer and consumer in an omni-channel place is a big difficulty, and is a challenge. So I see in the chat that there is a question that how do you track footfall in offline stores? So so to track footfall in the offline stores, there are tech systems available who take the store camera feed and then they count the number of people out there. Let me see. Yeah, so I have this slide out there. So what happens is every store has a CCTV camera footage. Okay, and they can measure how many people are coming in and going to a 95-97% degree of accuracy. And they can also eliminate that who is an employee versus who is this, because you then enforce that employees will wear a particular color of the brand t-shirt or clothes, and this will eliminate this thing. I have worked with a company called Tango Eye. TangoEye.ai is the link. You can go and check out, which will help us know the footfall to great accuracy. And it's a great information bank which tells that, okay, at 9 p.m. the footfall was 30 people were there. In the morning, it was less. On Saturday, Sundays, it is high. How much is the conversion also you can do. So there's a whole information and science on this. Vishnu, if it is possible, can you put the link on the footfall conversion blog in the chat for people to look at? Okay. So so footfall measurement is a key thing in an omni-channel world. And plus to it, if you use the customer identity of email address or phone number, then you can know that, okay, the person started online and how did they convert offline. So having a customer identity is a key thing out here. So footfall analytics is a one big enabler of it. Okay. So I know we have 10 people on the call. So, can you guys respond? Have you ever observed a difference between online and offline pricing? Have you ever seen that, the prices online is higher than the offline price? I'm sure this happens rarely. Online price is always cheaper than the offline price, right? Yeah, so pricing is a very core element in getting people to buy, and that's why people try to keep because they are promoting online more. So one example where the online price is higher than offline is for movie tickets. Okay, so if you buy the movie ticket online, you will have to pay that 50 rupees convenience charge and all sort of thing. But the advantage is you can book it, and if you go on the theater and do it, you might not get good seats or might not even get a ticket. Okay. So emerging on Omni strategies are, using digital POS or self checkout, where you get the person to use the POS and then you can reduce the queues out there. And a lot of AR is used today as well to do. So there are assisted sales which is coming up, which you can say you can talk to the expert, do live calls, book a store visit, try at home. All of these things are very key to do, and it helps drive it. Okay. So what I have covered till now is omni-channel sales, marketing, service, and a bit of analytics, which covers the core. Okay. Now I will talk about a little bit of what are the three mistakes which I have seen firms make and which people can look at avoiding. Okay. First thing definitely is pricing discrepancies. Okay. Uh, Definitely it's not easy to control brands when they are on marketplaces and their own website and store. But what happens is if you have too much discrepancy in the pricing, people end up cannibalizing the channel as well. So, like the example is that I went into the store. The store had the price of 3,000 rupees, the website at 30% cheaper, and then the journey broke, and then they end up buying offline online. In some places in US, they give a price match. They said that okay, we will match the price on any platform you show us, and they will give that discount. That does not happen much in India. So pricing discrepancy is a big problem which brands have, and sometimes because of the journey break, people might go to Amazon, look at the thing, and then say, "Achha, for the other brand, it is even cheaper. Let me go and buy it." So you are actually forcing the person to go into a different channel and buy, which is a challenge. Yeah. The second is employee mindset and culture, And I'll take an example here. So once I visited a very popular store called First Cry, and I was buying for somebody's birthday clothes, and I took out my phone, like many of us would do, and wanted to check out the price out there. And the sales guy came and said, "No, no, sir, you cannot use phone in the store to check prices." I said, what is this, yaar? Matlab, he said, no, our policy does not allow customers to look at. So I was little baffled that why are they doing such things? And what I noticed it, but then also I checked it and I noticed the price of the same jumpsuit was 40% lesser on their website. And then he had no justification. He said that is there. And what he said, ki sir, aap dekh lo, online the price is lesser, but it could be old stock, it could be worn out and all. And he said, you sell like that. So what is the guarantee that this is not a old stock? So then I left the store. And what ended up happening in this case is, the employee wanted to protect the sale of the store and he ended up cannibalizing the entire brand. And I lost trust in First Cry as a brand. And I'm telling you this story and I'm even hurting the brand as I tell you. Like at least I'm influencing 7, 8 people more today. So so having a employee mindset. Dua, if you can stop share your video, that would be great. Yeah, great. Yeah. So if people are not doing, um, if they think that they are representing the brand versus the channel, then it really helps. And one of the biggest culprit for this is the sales incentive program. And if you have a sales incentive program which is only for the current channel, then it happens more versus if you do it like a omni-channel sales incentive program. And then the third biggest challenge which people face is inventory management. Okay, as you expand online to offline. So one example, you might have heard is Mamaearth share price has tanked to almost 50% to the highest high, and that has happened because Mamaearth really pushed a lot of stock into general trade, and the distributors are not able to sell it, and so there is a write-off which is happening, and which has led to the company getting into losses. So in omni-channel, the thing is when you sell offline, you have to put in inventories and block inventories in multiple places. When you're only selling online, then you can put it in a big warehouse and you can control it. So inventory management is a big issue, especially with offline. In online, still because you can manage it from a single warehouse, it is easier, but it ends up becoming a challenge a lot. So inventory management is where many people can go wrong. Okay. So while these are three big mistakes which I've seen, there is a huge role of tech data and AI in omnichannel. Uh, so one is tech which you use in POS, in traffic measurement, in QR code. So huge tech is used today, and it helps companies get to capture the data and build a seamless journey of the customer. And then there is use of AI as well. So this is the footfall measurement example which we talked about. And in Lenskart, we had this issue that how will the frame look on my face? So that is called AR try on. So the company launched AR and it kinds of get the people seeing that you can see, and that really helped Lenskart become Lenskart because people saw it like a very cool tech company. Uh, uh, while there are challenges in it over a period of time with AR features in every mobile phone getting better, it kind of has improved. So this is where we come to an end. I would love to hear if there are any questions in the chat. So yeah, Somit had one question. How do you attribute consumers with customers? Yeah, so it's a very tough question, customers and consumers, how do you attribute? So I'll take one example. Okay, I was talking to a founder of a variables company. So he didn't have this problem because the customer might buy, but everyone who has to activate their product has to log into the app. So that's where it worked for him. But in case of Netflix, if you see, they have created profiles. Okay, then you come to know, okay, who's doing this. In Mintra also they have created profiles. So it is not a solvable problem. You can make profiles and all, but especially when you are in FMCG type of a product, it's not easy to bifurcate it. But what you can do is you can use a proxy to say, okay, these products are only used by females, these products are only used by kids because of the age category. So you can use those pseudo categories and understand that, okay, this person is buying for multiple people. And there are some channels which are more tuned to it. Okay, so that's how you attribute or differentiate between customer and consumer. You should not just look at, okay, this is a data of a male and he's buying stuff, so let's all send him mail campaigns. If you see that he's buying, say, sanitary pads, so it means that he has also helping some females to buy content from it. Okay. So, so I'm almost at the end. Would love to know what is one thing you can unmute yourself and share what is one thing you learned from the session today, or if you're not comfortable, you can type in the chat. I would love to hear your perspective.
Hey, thanks, Saurabh, first of all, taking time and explaining all this. I am new to the marketing, so I just want to learn what is that omnichannel means. So, but I got the big picture and also learn a
Hmm.
few things. So, what the mistakes you shared, that will be the good insight also. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Visu.
I think for me, you know, the post-sales servicing is something that you usually don't take into account in omni-channel marketing, because when you say omni-channel, the first thing that comes to you as a brand head or a category head or a business head is sales and marketing. You want to increase your sales without the customer switching over to another brand or another channel. But the most, I mean, the examples that you gave was, you can actually lose a customer for lifetime if you don't have a good post-sale service experience across all channels.
Yes,
And that is something, is a key takeaway from this session for me.
great. Thanks for sharing.
Sir, I would like to give one good feedback. Sir, I think in India, I've been following WebEngage and their sessions, online sessions, and everything for a while now. It's been close to 1.5, 2 years. Other than them, I think you've been doing a lot of blogs. You've been doing a lot of the webinars and learnings like this. These are very good for us who wants to do the retention marketing, focus on omni-channel marketing and everything. So you are great, sir. I mean, like, I'm looking at a lot of learnings from you, your blogs and then your webinars and everything, sir. Thank you so much on this.
Thanks, Pritam. Anyone else wants to share? Okay, great.
Yeah, actually, I'm Saurabh from City Bazaar, and we are providing a same kind of omni. We are trying to provide the same kind of omni-channel experience for the retailers, and I want to discuss our idea with you, our venture with you, and what can we do more with this? Can we do a discussion or one-to-one meeting for that?
Sure, we can explore it. I'll talk about what we do in a couple of minutes. Okay. So, so thank you everyone for sharing your learnings from the session. So I have a omni-channel newsletter. Would love to have you part of my subscription list. Vishnu, if you could share in the chat with people the link to subscribe, that will be great. Or you could scan this QR code from your mobile or stuff and do it. It's a newsletter which comes in. We spend 2, 3 posts per week, and we document all our learnings and we share it. So our consulting company, DAiOM, it works with a lot of brands to think about their strategy, whether it is in the area of omnichannel marketing, analytics, servicing, or even tech, data, and AI. So my background is analytics and data and AI, and but we also work with the business side of it, because a lot of people do analytics, but they don't understand the business aspect and how it impacts. So that's where DAiOM comes in as a consulting partner, and we have worked with many brands in depth to help them and accelerate. So our website is diom.in. Vishnu, if you could put it in the chat, please. And what I would say is what we learned from the session today is, in simple thing, omni-channel is no more a choice, and it's a combination of sales, service, marketing, powered by tech, data, and AI. And that is the future of businesses. And it's not only retail, it is across retail, ed tech, shoes, everywhere we spoke sports. So thank you very much, everyone, and love to have you spend time with us. We give, yeah.
Sorry, I thought I had a question as well. I thought I'd just check in with you. You mentioned edtech. Could you give an example of some kind of successful omni-channel strategy that has worked, some mistakes they've made in that space? For a background, I come from an edtech background, and I'm currently working in the wellness space where we are launching and running online modules for lifestyle based interventions.
Great. Yeah. So in EdTech, the examples which we spoke in the beginning, I know you joined a little late, is definitely Physics Wala and Byju's because they started online and that worked very well during the COVID period when everyone was locked down. So when people wanted to go back into physical learning where there is a lot available, so opening up centers was a big thing for them. But also, it's not that when I used to go into coaching center, there was no online assistance available. So they have some hybrid classes in the evening, extra classes. They do their self assessments online. So and if you miss the class, you have the recording available online. So online centers are going offline like Byju's and Physics Wala, and offline like Akash and other Fitji are also creating their online versions for it. And it's an omni-channel journey for the student. And I have a son who is preparing he's in 11. So one of the things which I realized is, if you only have online, it does not work because the most important thing you need in education is not content, because content is available for free on YouTube. It is the discipline, and discipline comes by monitoring and by the physical interactions. So
You
yeah.
are so right on that, and thanks for sharing that. Just a small follow-up question. By any chance, have you seen any successful omni-channel strategy play out for wellness players, basically preventive healthcare?
So there are multiple companies which have tried to do it. So
Uh,
for them, yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. So there is this company called Gynoveda. They are into Ayurvedic medicine it's a OTC type of a thing using Ayurvedic medicines, and treat uh, they help treat say pregnancy or thyroid related issues. They started online and they really scaled up. Now they are opening very fast some centers, and they have already opened 30-40 centers across Bombay, Pune, NCR. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, got it. Thanks. I'll check them out.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Would love to connect if you have any questions or need any help. Yeah, I'm there available. There is my LinkedIn out there. I'm generally active on it and easy
Just
to
one more
respond.
question, Saurabh, before we end. I mean, so to give the right experience, you need to have access to the data, right? And data, the brands are not willing to share with an external party who is running the analytics. So, and especially from a mix of offline and online stores. So, how do you then manage the access to the data or sourcing of the data to do all the analytics and give back the insights as to, whether you should, where all they need to improve, how do they need to improve the customer experience, how do they need to do the price match? So, it has to
Tell
be
me
a
one
very
thing.
real-time data exchange, right?
But why do you think the brand is not ready to share the data? The brands which I've worked with, they are very happy to share the data. See, at the end, if you're some external party not being deployed by the brand, they will not share the data. But if it's a confidentiality agreement signed and they know the value of the analysis you will provide, they will pay the data and pay you for the service. I have never faced that challenge in my service. So there is
So
always an
you,
apprehension. The
yeah, so
problem has been
essentially,
lack
yeah.
of data available, not the willingness to share data.
So essentially, most of these big organizations like Lenskart and all would be having their own data science team, right? Internal to the organization.
Yeah, they have it. But see, how would you analyze without the data being there? Okay. So if somebody has deployed an agency or a consulting company to do analysis, how would somebody do an analysis without sharing the data? The problem is that mindset that, okay, they think that they know better than what data can tell. And these are the dinosaur companies who might get eliminated later.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the more agile companies, smarter companies shouldn't have this problem. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
You rightly said, sir, the world is moving towards a data-driven approach. You know,